chips and one of my old apartments. That's what I'm going to be talking about today. Before I get started, I have a couple of shout outs. Bobby Cabezas, I hope I pronounced that right, Bobby Cabezas, and Joe Weeb. So Joe Weeb, Joe and Bobby, special thank you, special shout to the two of you. And I thank you for your support. And a big shout to the rest of you as well. I thank you for all your support as well. To all my amazing viewers out there. So, I got a bottle of Mexican Coke. And I got some Kettle barbecue chips. And I got a new bulb for my ship. Thanks to one of my viewers, Jen, who suggested a LED bulb. So I went to the hardware store and I got one. The bulb that was in there before was an old 40-watt appliance bulb. It's about that big. And it got way too hot. You could smell it cooking after a while. I love these chips. These are probably my favorite. So back in 1979, oh, that's good. I love Coca-Cola out of a glass bottle. So back in 1979, I've been living with different people here and there. There's always 4 or 5 of us living in a house, renting it. Or maybe it would start out with 2 or 3 of us renting it. More people would move in. It was always like a party central. So I decided I kind of had enough, and I got a job working for a budget rent truck. And I wanted to get my own place. Now I can't remember what I paid for this place, but it was in an older building. There was some suites down below, some upstairs. Mine was upstairs. It was a tiny little suite, maybe about 300 square feet, I'm not sure. It had a separate bedroom, little tiny kitchen, little tiny living room, kitchen all in one. 2 windows, one in the bedroom, one in the kitchen, and a shower. Cute little place. I think I was paying maybe $145 a month or something. But it was upstairs. And there was a dress store down below. And it was owned by a young realtor. I say young because he's probably in his 40s at that time. But he owned the whole building. And it was just a stone's throw from where I worked at Budget Rent a Truck. And there was no parking, so I had to park my car on the street. But I never drove to work, I just walked to work. was not a far walk by any means. Maybe a couple blocks. And it was like kind of right downtown, but it was in an older area that's really been fixed up a lot. There's a lot of trendy shops there and really nice restaurants and stuff. Very trendy area. It was a nice little place to live because it was my own place. And I remember when I moved in, it was already furnished, so that was nice. It was furnished out of bed, little couch and table and chairs. And when I moved in, I just needed to bring what I owned, which wasn't very much, my own personal stuff, my stereo, which went everywhere with me. Linda eats a bowl of these chips every night. Not a bowl like this, but like a cereal bowl, soup bowl, so a bag will last her about 3 or 4 nights. So I know I moved in, I think in the summer. I moved in this summer. I know I was there all winter. But when I moved in, it was nice weather. Probably early summer. So when I first moved in, my girlfriend was there a lot, and she'd come over. And we decided we wanted to. She thought I should adopt a kitten. I said, there was really no place to keep a kitten in my apartment. And when I was at work all day, didn't want the cat there all by itself, and blah blah blah. But this one day, she just really bugged me about getting a cat, so we went to the SPCA. Told them we'd like to adopt a kitten. Asked a bunch of questions, and they said with all the shots and all that, blah blah blah, it would be about $35. Now $35 in 1979 was a lot of money, and I was only making minimum wage. Which was probably $4 an hour or less, maybe $3.50, I'm not sure. Not very much. So I said thanks, but no thanks. I couldn't afford $35. No way. So, as it turned out, about a week later, she had a girlfriend whose cat had some kittens, and they were just looking to find homes for them. So we never went over there and looked at a cat. And we took this little gray kitten, cute as all heck. And Cindy promised me if it doesn't work out, she would take it and keep it at her house. She already had a cat, a Siamese cat, but it was old. She kind of wanted another one anyway. So I got this kitten. I brought it home. Got a litter box for it. And, I mean, it was such a schmozzle to take this cat outside, go all the way down these stairs and out onto the street. You know, there's a back alley there, whatever. But, so I got the idea. There's a building right outside my kitchen window, very close. The roof line was just perfectly level to my kitchen window. And it was probably, I don't know, maybe 6 feet. I'm not sure what the regulation was for, you know, having buildings that close, but anyways, you could walk in between the buildings. But I got a hold of I think it was a 2x6. And I stuck it outside my kitchen window, right onto the building next door, so the cat could just go outside and climb onto the roof of the next building. That worked great. Leave my window open. Yeah, I come home, the cat, I'd see it on the building, you know, curled up, sleeping away in the sun. And I'd call it to come running, you know. It was very friendly. I caught on quick, you know. And I kept it well fed. And this one day, came home, it wasn't there. I thought, oh, good grief. I went looking for it. Started knocking a few doors. And I think about the third door, there was two gentlemen standing in the door. It was open. They're standing there talking. Older guys. I told them I was missing a little kitten. I said, it's gray. And they started laughing. And they said, my wife found one this morning. It was all covered in soot. It was just black. And she cleaned it up. I guess the cat had tried to climb down some kind of a chimney pipe or something. But anyways, they gave me the cat. They were happy that it had an owner. So I told Cindy, I said, no, I can't keep this cat here. It's not fair to the cat. It's going to get hurt or stuck or something. You know, it's just not fair. And she said, I understand. And she said, I was kind of hoping that you'd say that, because she really grew attached to this little kitten, and she wanted to take it home. So she took it home. And her and her other cat, they got along fine. No problem. But there's no way I could have kept that kitten there, because come winter time, I couldn't leave my window open all the time. It was one thing during the summer, not during the winter. because you're up high. You know, I didn't have a view of the street. I wish I did. Because I had a neighbor who, he had one of the street view apartments. And I went over there, I was talking to him about something once, and I could see inside. And it looked really nice. You could just look down over the street. It was really nice. I was looking at the roof of another building. But eventually I'd move out of there. I can't remember why I moved. Cindy and I, or my girlfriend, we moved in together. That's what it was, yeah. We got a place together. But it was a nice little place to live. And even long after Cindy and I broke up, she moved to another city. I remember asking her, whatever happened to that cat? She said, well, I still have it. But at that time it was like, 5 or 6 years old or whatever, right? As far as I know, she had it for a long time. But I remember moving out of there. I remember feeling kind of sad because it was such a nice, I think it was the very first apartment that I had completely on my own. That's why it was so special to me. I mean, I lived in a lot of places with a lot of different people. A lot of us, I've made quite a few videos now about couch surfing and different things and different places I lived. And with all these people I lived with, a bunch of us would rent a house or an apartment or something. But this little apartment was the first apartment I had that was all mine. I paid all the rent. Like I said, it was very cozy in the wintertime. I'd get off work, I'd kind of wade through something like 6 inches of snow. My feet would be soaked by the time I got home, and I'd go upstairs and open up the door, and I'd leave the heat on a little bit so it was nice and warm and cozy in there. I loved it. Kitchen table was right by the window. Small little stove. Fridge. It was funny. When you first walk into the apartment, you got the stove and the sink to your left, and kitchen table straight ahead. There's a little couch to your right. The bathroom was just to the left. It was at the end, just past the window on the left. And Cindy was over one day just having a shower, and a young fella knocked on my door, and I had the door wide open. We're talking about something. I can't remember what he wanted. He wanted to borrow something. I can't remember what the deal was, but all of a sudden, and Cindy didn't know he was there. She came out of the shower like this, and she sees him, just kind of freaks out, and he kind of rolls his eyes a little bit. Not a big deal. You could tell he's a little bit embarrassed, but it was kind of funny. It was hilarious, actually. But it was just, so funny because she didn't expect him to be there. Just comes out of the shower. To me, you open the bathroom door and you step out. You're in full view of anybody standing in the hallway if the door is open. I would live there less than a year. Like I said, it was always a very special place. And the dress shop that was there, it's not the same shop. I think it's a clothing store of some sort. There's a lot of clothing stores in that area, real trendy ones. But as far as I know, it's still apartments and stuff in there. But every time I drive down the street, I always look at it. It brings back good memories. And sometimes as I'm driving by, I'll shoot my eyes down that in between those two buildings. And I vision my kitty cat running out across that 2x6. And oddly enough, I can't remember that cat's name. I remember it was gray. Think about these chips. They got a hint of sweetness to them. Nice barbecue flavor with a hint of sweetness. Man, I know I've told this story before, or I mentioned this before, that when I was a kid, bags of chips, like a fairly decent bag with 10 cents. They also had 5-cent bags. Sometimes at Halloween, you can buy chips for Halloween, little bags, and those are even smaller now than the 5-cent ones were back then. And the 25-cent bags were huge, kind of like the one I'm eating now. Summer rain this morning. It's been very dry lately. I just know we'll be on watering restrictions pretty soon. But I took Marcy the dog for a walk. And the air smells so fresh. Wasn't much of a rain. Not enough to really do any good. Restocked the fish pond the other day. I think that big blue heron ate all our fish. We had mostly goldfish and shabunkins and stuff like that. I gotta tell you something mildly amusing. As you know, my dog Marcy was sick for a while, but she's getting much better. And last February, she wouldn't eat anything. Wouldn't eat dog food, wouldn't eat anything. Couldn't eat her kibble because of her enlarged esophagus, but wouldn't eat anything, not soft dog food or nothing. So we started giving her, I go to the store and buy lean ground beef and liver and stuff and cook that up. And she ate that. I gradually started introducing canned dog food into the mixture. Lean ground beef, maybe 75% and 25% dog food. So we did this for like a couple of months. Giving her more and more dog food, canned dog food. She still eats kibble from Costco, the Kirkland brand, but you have to soak it a bit first. So anyways, decided to just try her on regular canned dog food all by itself. Wow, she devoured that like you wouldn't believe. And it used to be, before she got sick, she had a big bowl, a little bit bigger than this, and we just dump, kibble into it, and she would just graze, eat whenever she wanted, as much as she wanted. But we started feeding her smaller meals kind of throughout the day. But she likes this canned dog food so much, it's almost like crack, It's like she's addicted to it. She gets all twitchy when she wants to eat it, and sort of, her way of communicating is growling. She doesn't growl because she's mean, she's growling because that gets attention, right? But it's so funny. You can feed her some canned dog food. Next thing you know, she's right back at it eating more. Now she can afford to gain weight because when she was sick, she lost weight. But she's by no means fat. She's very active. Chips. Perfect snack. Getting back to the fish. Then went out to one of the big pet stores. I got about 20 fish. Little tiny ones. They seem to be doing okay. But you can't blame the big blue heron for coming around. Pretty easy pickings. So I think Linda's son has a big net that we can put across. There's lots of hiding places in the pond. Because Linda has some water lilies and plants. She has some in black pots, but they were too low, so we had to set them on top of pots that we overturned. Like we took a plant pot and set it upside down and drilled holes in it so the fish can go swim in there and hide in there, and then the plant sits on top of that and weights it down. So they have plenty of hiding places that the big birds can't get at. But I've watched those big birds hunt, and they're very stealthy, very patient. But it's too bad because those fish are getting really big. Some of them are probably about like that. Good size for a pond fish. But once the bird discovers that location, they'll probably keep coming back. is in the front yard. And Marcy the dog does not have access to the front yard, only the backyard. So she wouldn't be able to scare it away. I love that tinted green bottle. That is so nice. I'm having the small little bottles. You might see them at Christmas time sometimes. When I was a kid, there was a vending machine. That sold those for 5 cents. But it's a rarity because most vending machines have the regular size bottles. But this one, even back, because I'm going back 50 years, even that was kind of to be uncommon back then. This is very good chips. I sometimes wondered about that little kitten. It probably lived to be a long time because my old girlfriend made sure that she looked after it. She was a real animal lover. Very gentle. A lot of people have asked me about my lava lamp. The store I bought it at is a hardware store called Canadian Tire, which is a huge hardware chain. And I think I paid $16 for it. But they don't call it a lava lamp, they call it a mood lamp. So I think the word lava lamp might be a copyright. But it's pretty psychedelic. Totally blows your mind, doesn't it? I had to adjust my lighting because the color coming off it made my face look kind of green and gray and weird. These chips are good right down to crumbs. I just love that hint of sweetness. pretty hard to beat good old Coca-Cola. It's delicious. Wow. Well, you know what? There's no heat at all coming off that ship. Nothing. But I had that in my video before. Halfway through my video, I had to unplug it. It was so hot you couldn't even touch it. Like I said, I could smell that, that heat, that burning. Not really burning, but when something's too hot. But anyways, looking pretty cool. Okay, so there it is, my friends, my pop and chips video. Talking about my old apartment. My first apartment. So anyways, you take care. You want to shout out, hit me up. Be prepared to wait a week, 10 days, 2 weeks. Keep those comments coming. I love hearing them. You look after yourselves, look after each other. Stay amazing out there in the big land of awesome, okay? You take care, and we'll see you next time, okay?